I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor to defend his cause. Maintain the honors of his word, the glory of his cross.
Hello, I am James Brown, and on behalf of the Eastern Church of Christ located in Toronto, Canada, I'd like to welcome you to Wednesday's edition of Walking Through the Bible, a podcast where we seek to study the Bible and the Bible alone. Please stick around afterwards for information on how you can contact us. But for now, if you have a Bible with you, please turn to the book of Genesis, and we'll turn you over to Jeremy Dieselkamp for our study of the day.
Thank you, James, and welcome to all of our viewers. This is the 14th lesson in our study of Genesis. Yesterday we covered Genesis chapter 2, verses 10 through 17, discussing the Garden of Eden, as well as God's command not to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. If you missed that episode and would like to watch it, you can find it and all of our other podcasts on our website at www.eastendchurch.org. You can also find them on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/EastEndChurchOfChrist under the Walking Through the Bible Genesis playlist. Today we're going to begin with Genesis 2:18 and read through verse 25. The text that you'll see on the screen is from the English Standard Version, but you're welcome to follow along with any version that you have. So let's now read Genesis 2, beginning at verse 18. Then the Lord God said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him." So out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the heavens, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called every living creature, that was its name. The man gave names to all the livestock, and to the birds of the heavens, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helper fit for him. So the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept took one of his ribs, and closed up its place with flesh. And the rib the Lord God had taken from the man he made into a woman, and brought her to the man. Then the man said, "This at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother, and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And the man and his wife were both naked, and were not ashamed." As we said a couple of episodes ago, some people think there is a contradiction between Genesis 1 and 2, because it appears that animals were made after mankind. However, again, that's not what the chapter says. It doesn't say that God made animals after man. It simply says that God formed beasts out of the ground, a fact that we didn't know from Genesis 1, and brought them to Adam to name and to find a helper from. The when God made these creatures is not important, if this is Adam's account of things, as we suggest is a possibility. He just states what God did and how God did it. Adam here names all of the animals brought to him, something we still do today. This was a great honor given to Adam by God, because God had the power to name anything he wanted. It also shows us that Adam had language and intelligence, for he was able to do this. But among all these things, no helper was found for Adam. Did God know this to be the case before he did this? Yes. Then why did he have Adam go through this exercise? Verses do not explicitly say, but we do know that animals needed names, so this had to be done. But also by doing this, it allowed Adam to learn to trust that God would provide for his needs. Jesus teaches us the same lesson in Matthew 6:25-34. When no helper was found, God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam, and formed woman from one of his ribs. What great care God had for Adam, in that he didn't want Adam to experience pain while this surgery was being performed on him. We use anesthetic for the same purpose today. Adam names the female woman, for she was taken out of man. We then have it recorded that they were married by God. That is different than what the animals do, for they do not marry. They mate with whomever they will. This is not God's design for us, though. We're not just to have sexual relations with anybody and everybody, but with the one we choose to marry, the one we join ourselves to. God's design for marriage is that it was to be a union between a man and a woman, not a man and a man or a woman and a woman, and it was to be for life. They are to love and to hold fast to each other as long as they both shall live. Divorce is not in God's original plan and would only come later because of the hardness of men's hearts. Matthew 19:8. The chapter concludes by telling us that they were both naked and were not ashamed, because as of yet they had not sinned. With that, our time is up for today. Please join us, Lord willing, tomorrow when we will continue our study with the book of Genesis, beginning with Genesis chapter 3, verse 1.
Thank you, Jeremy. And to our viewers, we also thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Should you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below or email us at answerintheword@gmail.com. We'll try to respond to you as quickly as we can. We hope you'll join us, the Lord willing, tomorrow when we'll be continuing our study of the book of Genesis. Goodbye for now and have a great day.
I'm not ashamed to own my Lord, nor